It is very likely that you are in the exact same point I was mentally just a few years ago, thinking to yourself, no matter what I do, things will never improve. I want to share with you just one thing I learned coming out of that hell. All that thinking that you're doing, that things will never get better, things will never improve, all that thinking is just thinking. That is all it is. It's just thinking. Unlike most self-improvement programs, I'm going to show you how to use one without spending any money. The goal here is to feel better, not think better. And that is why we start with feelings first. And I don't know about you, but if the way you feel today were to last tomorrow, into next week, next month, or even into next year, that would be far too disappointing for me. It is my belief that our real stress comes from knowing within ourselves on a much deeper level that we are wasting time. And the fact that we're not progressing the way we should be creates that internal fight that goes on within ourselves. We know we should be doing better. We know we can win, and we know that lies within us. But putting all those pieces together seems like too big a puzzle for us to solve. Until now. Welcome to Dave's Therapy, where you're going to learn how to win that internal fight that goes on within you. But you can't win that fight with the same way you think. You've got to change the way you think, and the best way to change your thinking is to not change your thinking. So let me explain this in a more simpler way. In order for you to conquer your depression, create the health that you would love, fall in love, or make as much money as you've ever dreamed of, you've got to first believe that that is possible for you. The subconscious mind stores your beliefs. Feelings and emotions are the language of the subconscious mind. What the subconscious mind sees or hears often, it believes. Thus you form your beliefs based on the feelings and emotions you repeat. Changing your belief is your first step because your beliefs dictate your thoughts, actions, and results. The easiest way to change your belief is to change the feelings or emotions you repeat to your subconscious mind. By giving our subconscious mind more positive feelings more often, we're able to change our belief and change our life forever. It is that easy. Notice how it requires no thinking. We don't need to engage the conscious mind, logical, critical thinking mind. It's not needed because our beliefs are located within our subconscious mind. That is how we get help to change the way we feel and make our lives so much easier for ourselves. The subconscious mind's job is to take a feeling that is not real and make it real for you. In this therapy, your starting point is an imaginary feeling so your subconscious mind can make it real for you as it cares for you. And because it does that unconditionally for anyone, no matter who you are, I believe it's directly connected to your heart as it is nothing but love for you. Most, if not all, therapies used to change the way you feel start with logic. They engage the conscious mind, the rational thinking mind. The goal here is not to start with logic. Here we go. The goal here is to start with your goal, to feel better. And feelings are the language of the subconscious mind. That's its job, to change feelings for you. So we can let go of the logical thinking mind. We can let go of all the thinking we're doing. When will I heal? When will I get better? A classic sign of overthinking is feeling overwhelmed. Feeling overwhelmed is a classic sign of disconnection because you're not connected to the help within. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to access its help that lies within the subconscious mind and not miss out on 90% of who we are. In a nutshell, you are being you. And some people will think that's crazy. I don't need anything else but myself to conquer my depression. That sounds insane. I hope it sounds insane. Albert Einstein would hope it sounds insane too. As he knew what he was proposing did not exist or make any sense at all to himself or to anyone, Albert Einstein knew he must not stop with his feeling or hunch about it. You see, to create something out of nothing doesn't come with logical instructions from start to finish. What made Albert Einstein so successful was his ability to listen to himself, his intuition. Because Albert Einstein knew there is no hope in relying on conscious mind thinking alone. You are to follow the exact same recipe to successfully overcome your depression. You must not stop with your feelings. So we've identified the answer to our future successes. So let's begin with the question. What are we doing that's not going to cost anything? We're taking the time to listen to ourselves, which gives us the ability to create too. To create the person we want to become and thereby regain a greater sense of control over our life. One of the reasons why you're not progressing the way you should be is you keep yourself in the same mindset. Your mindset never changes. You keep taking the same side or listening to the same voice that says, do this or don't do this. Sometimes you end up doing something even you don't want to do. So who's really in control of you? When you're forever just taking one side and not the other, you end up imbalanced. And anything that's not built on a strong foundation soon falls, be it physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, or financial. By you staying in the same mindset and your thinking not changing and taking one side, you are creating your own fall. No one else is doing that. That's why it's so important you start using and incorporating the other side or the other environment. The main problem lies in not knowing how to use the other environment. We know the conscious mind, logical thinking environment all too well and the dramas and problems it can create for us. But we don't know the subconscious mind environment and its communication, which is feeling and emotion. That's the language it speaks, and you need to start speaking that too. That's the other side. That's what you're not doing. So you're going to start doing that for 10 to 20 minutes once or twice a day. When you suffer a lot of sadness and depression, you'll find yourself in bed with little or no energy. It is my belief that your subconscious mind or heart, same thing to me, is trying to get you into a place where it can communicate with you. It doesn't want you doing 1,000,001 other things because you'll be too busy to listen to its communication. The fact that you're not listening to that are part of the reasons why your conscious mind voice is so strong, your subconscious mind voice is so weak, you're imbalanced and you'll fall. To turn that around, we simply turn the iceberg image upside down and put our feelings first. I myself went through 10 years of hell dealing with a sports injury to my back. I didn't know it at the time and neither did the professionals helping me, but that pain was called referred pain and it was coming from my front. And because the front of my hip was never getting treated, I was always in pain. And the harder I tried, the worse it felt because I realized I'm running out of options to feel good again. I'm going to have this pain forever. I'll never be happy again. With all my knowledge on health and fitness not working, I didn't realize that that was the answer given to me from me to heal because I wasn't listening to me. And if you too are making effort on top of effort to feel better and it's not working, that is your answer given to you from you. And I would listen to that. So if your answer is not working, what does not working look like? Does it look like working harder? Does it look like working smarter, not harder? Does it look like working in a different way? What does not working look like? When I was in a world of pain for 10 years and all my thinking was not working, I was left with just one question. How do I want to feel? Instead of feeling all these negative feelings, I want to experience all these positive feelings. With my new understanding that the language of the subconscious mind is feeling and emotion, and that the job of the subconscious mind is to take a feeling that is not real and make it real, I decided to give it some work to do. Knock, knock, knock. Welcome home, Dave. Where have you been? You finally realized how difficult life is without my help. What happened? I got caught up in thinking. That I need to know everything, where I just need to be me. Well, welcome home. We've got some work to do. Well, you don't mind if you do it all for me. Dave, I can't do it all for you. I can only do 90% for you. Well, I'll take that. I'll take that any day. So I started out memorizing 20 different feelings that I wanted more of. So if the subconscious can take a feeling that is not real and make it real, make all these feelings real for me. So after memorizing those feelings, I would say each feeling one after the other with no break for 1 minute. I would repeat this morning, noon, and night. And that day doing it, I was already feeling better. I was feeling more relaxed within myself. So I knew something's working. After a few days, I kept seeing this poster, be the change you want to see. And I couldn't make sense of it because it just stuck with me. So to me, that meant be the feeling. Spend time being that feeling. So instead of having no gap when I'm saying that feeling out loud, I'll put a 10 to 20 second gap and just concentrate on trying to feel that feeling, but not trying too hard, as that involves conscious mind thinking, and we don't want thinking, we want that feeling. If you can't connect to that feeling that's not real, don't try. Through consistency with your program, your subconscious gives you that feeling. It gives you the 90% of help. But it can only give you that help if you help yourself first. And that is the program that I still follow today. And I'm glad feelings are free, so your program doesn't cost you a cent. However, I wanted to create a self-improvement program that incorporated music, because on my weekends off from doing a job that I didn't like, I would exercise to music and I would feel far less pain in my body, so I wanted to incorporate music into a program. So I grabbed my phone and started recording the feelings that I wanted to feel more often. I am feeling happy, or I am feeling healed, or I am feeling re-energized, or I am feeling grateful, and leave a 30-second gap to feel the feeling. Meanwhile, in the background, music would be playing. The type of music I was playing was relaxation music, the type you're listening to now. Now, music is measured in hertz. So mainstream radio uses 440 hertz. The miracle tone of the universe uses 432. And the music that I chose was 528. Now, 528 hertz has to do with physical healing. And a lot of people will say, you know, frequencies don't really matter, and I agree. Everyone's taste in music is different, and how you respond is different. So the most important thing when you have music in your program is that music not only helps you feel good, but it enables you to connect and expand the feeling. As the more you expand something, the more you have of it. So don't think too much. Be the feeling. Be the feeling. So do you need technology to be able to create the change you're looking for? No, you don't. No. The help that is available within needs to be available for everyone, rich or poor. What really matters is your self-talk. Your self-talk may have been negative for far too long. I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, nothing's gonna work for me, I'm hopeless, I'm worthless. That kind of negativity now, hopefully you now realize that's what you've been giving your subconscious mind, and because the subconscious mind cares for you, it's given that back to you. So if you can just change your self-talk, you can undo all the damage that you've done. You can rebuild from a stronger foundation and create a new you, all through caring for you. Just don't talk yourself out of doing that. It can't be that easy. It's got to be more complicated, and you start looking elsewhere when the answer lies within. Why wait for something good to happen to you when you can create something good to happen to you? Amen. When you're running your program and you're expanding a certain feeling, you're really getting in tune with that feeling, and then another feeling comes along while you're listening to yourself. You want to expand that length of gap between each feeling. I have a number of women who are running a program. When they're trying to find love, they only run it with 4 or 5 different feelings. And I say, Dave, it's incredible the attention I'm getting and the number of new men asking me out. No, it's incredible that only now you're realizing that you're incredible and that your results in life are a mirror image of your level of self-care. If you don't care about your job, the bad days will definitely outnumber the good days. And if you don't care about your relationship, the bad days will definitely outnumber the sensational days. It took me over a year and a half to feel exactly like I had programmed myself to feel, often going in a direction I would have never thought of, which goes to show you, you don't need to know how to heal. You don't need to know, you just need to do. And because every goal that you'll ever have, whether it's wealth, health, or relationships, is driven by a feeling that you want, then you don't need to know how to fall in love, make money, or create the health that you'll love. You don't need to know, you just need to do. My advice is to follow Nike's advice and just do it. Understand that this power within you is very feminine by nature. It's very soft and quiet. I believe it's soft and quiet because it wants to see if you're paying attention and listening to her. Because if you're not listening to her, it shows her that you don't care. And like any other female, she'll get angry and upset with you. And because those feelings represent 90% of who you are, then you become angry and upset. It's just a mirror image of what's going on within. That is why we treat the root problem by working within, as happiness is ultimately a function of how well you communicate internally. I've just got to try and help you get just a little bit better at doing that. I'll try to. Like any other female, she requires trust and commitment. You need to trust in the process, you need to trust yourself, and you need to make a commitment to you. Results are not going to happen overnight, nor will they happen by committing to the program just once a week. Make your heart feel that you're all in, because it has to match your efforts, and it will go all out trying to help you. People will say the harder I work, the luckier I get. Absolutely, a simple reflection of the level of self-care that you have. So let's look at some of the feelings you might include in your own self-improvement program to increase your level of self-care. Hopeful. You may feel a sense of hopelessness fighting a disease or illness that seems bigger and stronger than you. Grateful and thankful. For depression, well, if you don't value what you have within, then that is mirrored in how much value you have for you. And that is why so many people feel worth less. Comfortable, relaxed, at ease. Perhaps you're anxious, restless, unable to sleep, and worried about the future, or think there is no future. Joyful, having the feeling that you are responsible for your loved one's suffering through your actions is the opposite feeling of guilty. Strong, you may feel like you're not strong enough to go on. And like me, you've been told to do this and do that, and nothing's worked the way you wanted it to. I challenge you to do you. Forgiveness. Despite our best intentions, our thoughts and actions can often disappoint us. How do we stop ourselves from making the same mistakes? We learn. And how do you learn? Through listening. And the best form of listening is listening to yourself. Helpful. Because we feed off each other's energy, helping someone else feel better makes us feel better. Control. Like me, you will try so many healing methods and fail and think, well, everything's just pointless, I might as well just give up. I am feeling in control, or I am feeling in charge, puts the power back in your hands. Patient. The ability to wait for something without getting angry or upset. Don't feel angry and upset that your program's taking so long to give you the results that you want. that is just undoing all the work that you're doing with your program. They climb Mount Everest one step at a time. Grateful and thankful. Why am I repeating these feelings? Because you're probably watching this video on a phone, a computer, or a TV, or perhaps you're lying in bed with a laptop with a hot drink. Realize there's some people in the world that do not have access to any food or water and may not live another day. By thinking that you've got it bad, there are so many other people in the world that have it far worse than you. Show some appreciation for what you've been given. Part of the reason I start my program with I am feeling is so many other people are starting with I am depressed. I'm depressed. If you're going to communicate that way to you, you will stay in that way. Be thankful and grateful for what you have, the gift that you've been given. And the best way to show that is by using it. If you're doing 6 feelings every minute for 20 minutes, your subconscious mind is going to love you. Unlike you, your subconscious mind loves having work to do, the more the better. It wants to feel useful, it wants to feel needed, and it absolutely loves to help. What it really wants, I believe, it wants a life too. It wants to experience all these wonderful feelings through you. And because you're not giving it a life, it becomes sad and miserable. And because that is you, then so do you. People say the secret to living is giving. That is so true. You've got to start giving to you. You've got to start being kind to yourself. People ask me, is it more feelings the better? Is it a numbers game? No, it's a feelings game. It's like going to the gym and trying to build muscle. Is it the amount of weight that you have to lift or the number of repetitions? Well, it's a successful combination of both, if done consistently and over time, builds muscle and changes the body. So for your subconscious mind, it's a combination of both listening and feeling. The reason why I design mental health programs and have so many feelings in that program compared to other programs I design is because each feeling acts like a signpost on a road. If someone feels lost, it becomes so much easier for them to find their way home. As the program is you being you, when people say to me, Dave, I don't want to do this therapy, what they're really saying is I don't want to be me. And that hurts because for 10 years, I didn't want to be me either. And I can tell you the fastest way out of your hell is to be yourself. And it's kind of sad because you realize the 1 or 2 seconds that people took to make that decision to not do this therapy determines their destiny. And to me, that is so unfair that so much is hinged on so little, that life's greatest rewards are hampered by an imaginary fear. And I'm going to show you how you can beat that imaginary fear soon. But first, I want to go into some science. Not a lot of science, just enough to help you understand why we run our program at specific times of the day. Reprogramming your subconscious mind is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process, and consistency is the key to your success. There are windows of opportunity to reprogram your subconscious mind. The good news is this window never fully closes, as the subconscious mind needs to be able to help you at any time, no matter what situation you find yourself in, because it cares so much about you. But you will find that the subconscious mind is more receptive to what it is you're asking it to do for you at certain times of the day. Therefore, the best time to run your program is when you are feeling comfortable, relaxed, and your conscious mind or thinking mind isn't so active. So science measures your brain activity in brainwave cycles per second. In the delta phase is when you're sleeping, and the theta phase is when you have scattered brain, you've just woken up from that sleep. In the alpha phase is when you are creative and calm, and you have an increased ability to absorb new information. The beta phase is when you're studying or working. And the gamma is when you are pushing conscious mind to the limit and you are highly alert. Using our brain body's physiology, what state of mind are we going to run our program in? Can we do it in delta while we sleep? Well, you can, because your subconscious mind is always listening to you. But in this instance, results are sped up when you create change in a creative state. So alpha becomes the best time to run your program. Alpha is the first 20 minutes after you wake up and the last 20 minutes before you go to sleep. Those are the 2 times you will create the fastest change within. I want to explain how you're going to win this fight, starting with some science. According to science, the brain is comprised of 3 sections. The neocortex is the conscious mind, the limbic region is the subconscious mind, and the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain is exactly like a reptile. A reptile fights to stay dominant in its territory and opposes any change that threatens its dominance. My own personal belief is that the love given to you in the form of feelings is also a form of light. And the more you expand and push out that light, the more you're pushing out darkness or fears that live within your mind. And that's where I believe the reptilian brain thrives. After you've run your program for a while, you'll realize that when you do this, you're pushing out all your fears, and all your fears slowly disappear. And the freedom from this controlling you and making you feel afraid is priceless. I cannot put that in words. But here's an example of what I'm talking about and how you defeat those big scary monsters that live within your mind and why they hate light so much. You are the man in the yellow tracksuit who has all the fighting skills and knowledge in the world. However, thinking of ways to attack and win will not be enough to defeat your big scary monsters. And no matter how hard you try, you just get your butt kicked repeatedly and end up on the floor. Yet however big and scary those monsters seem to be, they can't handle light. They can't fight in light. Therefore, the easiest way to defeat them is to simply let in as much light as you possibly can. Go crazy with it. Your opponent becomes blinded by the light. It can't make out your movements and get in the way of your success anymore, and then reveals its true nature to you. Reptilian. Game, set, and match. Bruce Lee's level of self-discipline enabled him to know himself really well, to know your strengths and weaknesses in order to fully express yourself as a human being. I left out the feeling of self-discipline in your program because I wanted to save it towards the end, as I believe it's the most important feeling to run in your program. And although love is the strongest feeling, if you're not disciplined to keep running your program, you're not going to experience that love. When I first started my program, I started and stopped about 30 times because the reptilian brain does not like light expanding. So it tries to stop that and keep you under control. And the way that it does that is it uses truth to get you on its side. Things like, Dave, you're just a fitness trainer. You have no education in psychology, human behavior, or anything. This is not going to work. What do you know? This is a waste of time. And I listened to that. And because you are wired in the exact same way, you're going to go through the same fight. There's no data and references on this therapy working. I'm not doing this. This is not going to work for me. This is a waste of time. That's how the reptilian brain wins the fight. And 95% of people throw in the towel. They don't even get their gloves on. So it's time to glove up and start throwing some punches back of your own, because that bully that keeps bullying you will back down. He'll be thinking, I didn't expect this, just like you didn't expect this type of video. To continually grow and progress, the art to me seems to be a natural unnaturalness or an unnatural naturalness. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's only natural for you to use your logical thinking mind called conscious mind, the mind that you've been taught to only use at school. And it's unnatural for you to use your subconscious mind, a feelings-based mind. But if we go to one extreme and only use that feelings-based mind, we become unscientific. We don't use the science that tells us that diet, exercise, nutritional supplements, medication, and listening to trained professionals can help us heal. But at the same time, if we go to that extreme, the conscious mind, the logical thinking mind, and we don't use the feelings-based mind, we run the same feelings and get the same results. We become like a robot, like a mechanical man, doing the same things over and over and over again, not getting anywhere. And that's what I went through for 10 years. And people say, well, you didn't look depressed, you didn't look sad and miserable. No, I was just void of feeling. Doing a job I hated, relying on a ton of caffeine, pain-killing medication, finishing the job, going home and drinking alcohol and falling asleep, and repeating that over and over and over again. Notice the same feelings, the same results, over and over and over again. So it's a successful combination of both conscious mind and subconscious mind that allows you to heal faster. So running your program, it will become an unnatural naturalness. It's unnatural for you to do this therapy, but natural for you to care for yourself. Over time, it becomes a natural unnaturalness. It's natural to want to care for yourself. It's natural to put yourself first and have that love expanded. But it's unnatural for you to feel as if someone or something is now doing everything for you, making your life so much easier. But I want you to get used to those feelings, because when people lose weight quickly, fall in love quickly, make a lot of money quickly, they soon sabotage those things because they're not used to those feelings. They're not used to having a lot of money. They're not used to having the love of their life. They're not used to having the health that they love. And I don't want you doing that, because the subconscious mind has to give you what you ask of it. So I need you to get ready for those feelings that you're about to receive. And that all came through caring for yourself. And I hope that made sense. From constantly starting and stopping my program and losing the fight within, I decided I lacked self-discipline, even though I thought I had it. So I included these feelings in my program. And I would say those feelings out loud doing a job that I hated. I gave up fitness training and massage therapy at one point because I realized it doesn't feel as if anyone's helping me, so why should I help anyone else? And it's okay to be selfish and start caring for yourself, because to create the greatest change outside, that change first needs to happen from the inside. It's a simple reflection. So it's okay to spend 20 minutes taking the time to care for you. And when you start healing, you do a 360-degree turn and you start putting all your efforts into helping other people. And that's where you get a sense of meaning and purpose in your life. And that is where you'll find a lot of your happiness lies. You may have heard you are what you eat. And it's the same thing with your mind. Since the World Health Crisis, you'll notice a lot of people seem worried and stressed from what they listen to often, which is the subconscious mind in action. It's receiving those negative feelings and projecting them back to you. Make your choice as to what you listen to often, deliberate and intentional. In other words, put as many positive feelings in your program that you want to experience now, so you get given them in your future. Running your program consistently shows that you care. You have to care more to have more success. When you watch your favorite actor in a movie, they care about acting. That's why they're successful. If you follow a sport, those players love playing the sport. They love the feelings they get from playing that sport. That's why they're successful. That's why they're good at what they do. You've got to learn how to care more for you. When I help an athlete climb to the next level, all I have to do is to get them to have more love for their sport, especially if they're injured, underperforming, or don't really care about playing their sport. It is an easy fix, but only for those that want to win. Within each individual is a game going on. And this game is all about who is in control of you. And just like any game, it's important to know your opponent. Just like a fight, if you can understand how your opponent fights, you can identify their weaknesses and it becomes easier for you to win. However, if you don't know the rules of the game, the rules keep you in the game. And the walls that you're trying desperately hard to break free from, if you keep running your program, the feeling smashes the walls. It smashes them all to pieces. Love is just too strong for it. And the freedom you get from a controlling mind that keeps limiting your capabilities and happiness is priceless. It's time for you to start throwing some punches back of your own and fighting for your freedom. I have difficulty being in that relaxed state 20 minutes before I fall asleep because I suffer from anxiety and I always worry about the future. What can I do? Well, there are a number of things you can do. Try deep meditative breathing. Deep breathing is so underrated for relaxation. You can try 4-7-8, which is breathing in through your nose for 4 seconds, holding for 7, and a long exhalation through your mouth for 8 seconds. And you can do that for 5 minutes before you run your program. Personally, I like a longer exhalation as it helps me to relax more fully, but it's entirely up to you. The second thing you can do is run your program, and hopefully your program is geared towards more relaxation feelings. You can run your program 2 or 3 times before you fall asleep. And there'll be some people saying, well, that's 1 hour. And you said, Dave, the subconscious mind is only open for 20 minutes to be able to reprogram it. It's not an exact science. The subconscious wants to feel an effort from you that you care so it can care more for you. And you'll find that it's easy to care for yourself for 1 day, but a lot more difficult to care for yourself for a lifetime. And you'll find if you make that change, that's the only change you'll need to make. The subconscious mind will do the rest for you. What should I do if I have a loved one who's depressed, who won't listen to anyone who's trying to help them? Well, sometimes those people will do more for others than they will do for themselves. So tell them that what you're about to do is really important to you. And get your recording device or your phone and get them to speak 20 or 30 positive feelings into that phone. Like, I am feeling loved. I am feeling happy. I am feeling sensational. I am feeling healed. The next step, and this is what I'm working on right now, an app to make this so much easier for you, is to have that program on repeat while they sleep. Even at a low volume that the person can't hear, the subconscious mind is always listening to. And what you'll find over time is that the subconscious will start coming into play and that person will feel like they want to do something good for them. I feel like going for a walk. I feel like going for a bike ride. I feel like hanging out at the beach. Again, the feeling change, a simple reflection of doing something good for themselves because what's within that good is being simply expanded, all through you caring for them. What's the least I can do and get the most rewards as I'm the laziest person on earth? Well, what you can do is say those feelings 20 minutes before you go to sleep, or run your program through your headphones via your phone 20 minutes before you go to sleep. Why am I emphasizing the word sleep? Well, sleep is so important. You can go to bed angry and frustrated and wake up cool, calm, and collected. To me, my belief, my theory, sleep is a rebirthing of the soul. It's so incredible what it can do. So I want you to get in tune with it because I believe what it's trying to do. It's trying to take in a non-logical order events that are happening through your day and help you evolve. And it's interesting the word evolve because when you are born, you're born a heart and you evolve from that. And if you spell the word evolve backwards, you can also see where you grow from. So it's trying to help you evolve while you sleep. And I think part of having a nightmare is it's having a nightmare going, I wish this person had more positive feelings and more love within them so I can help this person grow. I wish this person cared more about themselves. I wish this person had more love for themselves as I can fast forward that progress. So that's what you do. You give it as many feelings as you possibly can. Give it the fuel that it wants. I give it about 10 or 15 feelings because I know some of the feelings I don't have, and patience is one of them. Why is this person not listening to me? Because they know it all. Why am I getting all upset? Because I need to be right. I don't need to be right. I need to be me. So this is what I do, and this is what you can do too. This is me being me. It's up to you if you want to do this therapy or not. But I can tell you from personal experience, if you don't love what you do, or you don't have much love for yourself, it's like being in a boat in rough seas out in the middle of the ocean. You're going to take on a lot of water, and sinking ain't fun. And you're going to be out there all alone, drowning, waiting for someone else to save you, when in the end, it's you who saves you. Dave, you said what the subconscious mind sees or hears, often it believes. And you utilize the hearing part in listening to feelings, but what about the seeing part? Well, the iceberg image or science says along with feeling, emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. Motion creates emotion. So when you close your eyes, what are you doing that's creating a stronger feeling? Because at times, the stronger a feeling is within, the faster you heal. Now that works really well with sports people or people who love what they do because there's enough light within them so when they close their eyes, they can see themselves being happier or being better at their sport or being better at whatever they love doing. The problem with poor mental health and depression is when you close your eyes, all you see is darkness. You cannot see yourself doing something that's making you feel happy. You cannot see yourself doing something that's making you feel grateful. And you'll find if you're consistent in running your program over and over and over again, the subconscious mind gives you the emotion. The subconscious mind gives you the picture inside your mind that intensifies the feeling. Ask and you shall receive without any limitation at all. Don't see it as a race. See it as a commitment to self-care. Being knowledgeable on health, fitness, and motivation, I'm unable to lose weight and it's causing me depression. Do you have any advice for me? Sure, watch my video on davestherapy.com called Weight Loss Made Easy. Because depression is a build-up of events over time, it's important for me to know what negative feelings are built up throughout someone's day in designing their program. As an example, Mary travels to work every day by public transportation. As Mary leaves for work each morning, she consistently notices couples in love on the train platform and on the train. She also notices this during her lunch break from work and again when she gets on the train to go home after work. Feeling tired and exhausted from carrying extra weight around all day, Mary is often feeling sad and miserable and therefore incapable of motivating herself to exercise and has no control over her eating habits. Feeling unloved and lonely, the discrimination Mary receives at work is a further source of negative feelings, creating her belief that the situation won't change, causing her depression. I want Mary to experience more love, so her program's designed with feelings associated with a new relationship, and because she wants to lose weight, feelings associated with losing weight and how she's going to feel once that weight has come off. I'm also throwing in the feeling of commitment and faithful, because if she takes her attitude or the same mentality that she has with diets and stopping and starting things, that's a recipe for failure because the subconscious wants a commitment for life. So she needs to be faithful. And if she wants a partner to be faithful to her, then she needs to be faithful to herself first. You get what you give. So that gives me a foundation to help Mary grow from. Listening to Mary, I can tell she's very bored at work. She's just going through the motions. She feels like a robot and lifeless. She doesn't know when she's going to find love or when she's going to lose weight and feel better. As smart as she is, and she's got more qualifications than me, she just doesn't know herself very well. When I'm listening to her, I can tell she feels really excited about interior design and helping her friends fix their houses. So I'm throwing in feelings associated with excitement, hoping to stimulate her brain into looking elsewhere for a job that she may love doing. And if she finds something she loves doing, chances are she'll probably fall in love. I don't need to know what's going on mentally up here. All I need to know is to work out what feelings that she wants, what's missing, and listen to her, because my answers are really given to me from her, and the real art to it is just listening. I'm not too concerned about the sciences behind what causes depression. Oh, it's a lack of neutrons and protons and electrons, it's a chemical imbalance. I don't want to see Mary as a number, but as a human being with feelings and emotion. The real imbalance is there's too much negativity and not enough positivity. There's not enough love. Either they don't know how to care for themselves or they don't want to. The only change that I need Mary to make is the change in what she gives herself. Why is it so hard at the start to change your life? Whether it's to run your program, quit smoking, quit drinking, quit overeating, quit gambling, why is it so hard at the start to make progress? Because your opponent comes out throwing 1001 punches at you in round one. It's trying to stop that light from expanding. But if you know anything about fighting, you know if someone's throwing that many punches at you in round one, they're not built to go the distance, and you are. So many of you have gone the distance with life, and yeah, I'm still breathing, barely. But that's what I want you to tap more into, that human spirit. If you can keep in the back of your mind the tortoise versus the hare. The tortoise won because it was slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. People talk about miracles as if they're something external from themselves. To me, it's all about being in alignment with your subconscious mind, as that has the ability to speed everything up. And the difference between working with your subconscious mind and not is night and day. Where's the camera? I can't see the camera. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of taking a step in any direction in case I bump into something or fall. And that's what disconnection is. There's no light, there's no love. Miracles, the fact that you're born this tiny cell and without any knowledge or proof that something is possible for you, yet you feel it's possible for you, so you're going to do it, that's the miracle. You're the miracle. And all you need to do is trust that miracle by running your program every day, just as you would watering a tree to help see its full potential and its full beauty. You're not going to see your full beauty unless you use your miracle. So use your miracle. Use it. Use that miracle. Nothing but love for you, as you'll need that love in your fight with your monsters. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in helping children avoid depression and live to their full potential, put a stop to domestic violence against women, racism, and all forms of discrimination, please watch my video, Teachers Are Heroes, a tribute to Kelly Wilkinson. It may not be the most entertaining video to watch, but the ideas and information put forth could create the biggest positive change in this world. If you feel as if you've been pulled in two different directions at the same time, one will be fear, making you afraid of doing something that's good for you. The other, love, an internal guidance compass to happiness and freedom from that fear. Realize two opposing forces do not fight over something that has no value. Otherwise, they wouldn't fight. Know you're valuable, special, and important. Because when you shine your light, you give permission for everyone else to shine their light too, and this world becomes a much brighter place to live in, all through you caring for you. So be strong, be patient, be thankful and grateful. But most importantly, be you.